Hi everyone, I'm Alina and in this video we will knit a winter cap, the same thing that we made in the last video in a previous one, but this time it's a knitted version, whereas in that video it's a crochet version. Now, this one can be made with any stitch that you would like. For example, this one I made with 1 and 1 ribbing, so you knit 1 and then purl 1. This one is 2 and 2 ribbing, meaning you knit 2 then purl 2. You can also make it in stockinette stitch or gardener stitch or any kind of stitch that you would like. Now, a few important notes before we start. This one is made with German short rows. But don't be afraid, I'll show how to make those. And I think even for beginners, this might be a good way to improve their short rows. So you start with casting on a needed amount of stitches, and then you start making short rows all the way to this half. And then you go down again with short rows, but in a little bit different way. I will show that in a video. So as for the yarn, I would recommend using thicker yarn, but again, choose whatever feels comfortable to you. If you really like some fingering yarn, then you can hold it double-stranded, or for example add another strand of mohair or whatever yarn you prefer. I'm gonna use this CaMaRose Snefnug that has 55% baby alpaca, cotton and merino wool. As for the yarn weight and length, it has 110 meters in 50 grams. So you can use these numbers when choosing your yarn. That's important because this is fingering yarn held together, so double-stranded. This is 100% merino. This is Sunday by Sandnes Garn. It has 235 meters in 50 grams, so I held it double-stranded, and yet there are holes in fabric. So to avoid that, choose thicker yarn. I'm gonna use 4mm needles, which is US size 6, I believe, and we will also need stitch markers, whatever you have. You can use a strand or anything that works for you as a stitch marker, but we will need plenty of them, so it's better if you have like a package of stitch markers. Before we start knitting, I'll show you short instructions for both 1x1 and 2x2 ribbing. I'm showing a 2x2 in this video, but if you like 1x1 more, feel free to do that. You can make a screenshot and knit 1x1. We start with casting on 96 stitches. You can use whatever method you prefer. I prefer casting on using a crochet hook, which makes beautiful edging, and I will also bind off using a crochet hook so that both my edges are symmetrical. This is what it looks like. It's probably not ideal on this dark yarn, but it makes this beautiful chain on the edge.
So for crochet version, we don't need a long tail. We will start making a slip knot and placing it on our hook. I use a slightly bigger hook for the half millimeter, but it's better if you use the same size, so 4 millimeter. I don't have it with me, so I'm using a slightly bigger. Then we place it near like this, and the yarn is over our needle. And we will go like this and through the loop that we have on a hook. Then again, placing our yarn over the needle, picking up the strand through the loop. So we need a total of 96 stitches, but we already have one here. So that means that we have to cast on 95 stitches on our needle, and then we'll just simply put this loop on our needle when we have 95. I've casted on 95 stitches, and now I'm simply slipping this last stitch that I have on my hook to my needle. And now we will start working according to the pattern. So we will work 2 and 2 ribbing. Now the important note is that I need continental style. So if you are not a complete beginner, that you wouldn't be confused with it, but if you are just learning how to knit, and if this might be confusing, you can try English style, for example, that is a little bit different. So we start with purling 2. I have my strand in front of my work, and I insert my needle through front like this, and I pick up the strand. There are also ways to purl different way, like this. This might be easier for you, but it's not easier for me, like this. So I prefer the other way, like this. So I'm going from front to back, like this. And the second one, now we have our strand at the back, we go from the front, pick up the strand, now again 2 purls, and we work this way 40 stitches. I've worked 38 stitches, and now we will work these 2 together, and we will place our first marker. So the last were pearls. So now we make 2 knits, 1 and 2. Now I have 40 stitches here, and I place a marker so that we have our middle part marked. For this purpose I will use yellow. So I place 1 yellow stitch marker here, and now we work 16 stitches until we will place our second marker. So 16 stitches for the middle. The last were knits. So now we make pearls. So this was 14, and now 15 and 16. We place our second marker here, and we work until the end of the row according to the pattern. So here were last knits, so we continue with pearls, knits, pearls, knits until the end of the round. I've ended with 2 knits, and now we turn our work and we will have a second row. The second row is worked according to the pattern until you have 4 stitches left. So we work like this. We have pearls here, these are pearls, and these are knits. So we purl the pearls and we knit the knits. And we work like this, slipping the marker until we have 4 stitches left. I reached the marker and I just slip it like this and continue working. The second marker, also slip it and continue working until you have 4 stitches left. We will meet at that point. 4 stitches left on our left needle, and the last one that I made was knit. We turn our work like this. We have our strand in front of our work, and the last stitch that is now on our left needle, which was right, now it is left. The last stitch that we worked into is now pearl from this side. We will make a first German short row now. We will insert our needle, having our yarn in the front, insert our needle as if we wanted to purl, yeah, like this, but we will slip the stitch on our right needle and we will pull the yarn to the back, creating 2 loops here, as you can see. Like this. And because the next stitch is pearl, we pull it tight so that we don't have any holes then, and we work, we place our stitch marker and we work until there are again 4 stitches left here. So we have pearl, we make pearl, knit, knit, again purl and purl. Work like this until there are 4 stitches left. There are 4 stitches left again, and we also make a turn. And the same way as we had here, we have a purl stitch, which we will slip and pull the strand from us to the back, so that it creates this double stitch. And again, we place a stitch marker and we work according to the pattern. When there are 4 stitches left until this marker, there are 4 stitches left, and we turn, and again we insert our needle and we pull to the back, and we place a stitch marker. But now the next stitch is a knit stitch, so we continue working until there are again 4 stitches left before the marker. Again, there are 4 stitches left, and we turn our work. We see that this is a purl, we place a stitch marker, and we work again until there are 4 stitches left, until the next stitch marker. There are 4 stitches left, but this time if we turn, we don't have a purl but a knit. The turn is made similar way. We have our yarn at the back and we insert needle as if to knit, but instead we just slip the stitch and we pull the strand towards us, so that it creates 2 stitches like this. We place a stitch marker put our strand to the back, and we continue working. And we continue working according to the pattern until the next red stitch. So basically we will work like this until we reach these middle stitches. So we make turns, we place stitch marker, and we do that all the way until there are 4 stitches left between this yellow middle marker and the last red marker here. There are 5 stitches from both sides of the yellow markers, and we are working our last rows like this. So we work until we have 4 stitches here, so we slip the yellow stitch or the yellow marker, and we make 1 stitch with purl, Then we make turn and again 4 stitches here. So we slip our marker and we see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches, but we want to have 4 stitches before the marker. So we purl 1, and we turn our work. I have a knit here, so I will make it towards us. And basically we don't have to place any other stitch marker because we already have this yellow one. And we work until the next stitch marker. Now we will continue working short rows but backwards, which means we will knit as normal until this stitch marker, well, until this one, because we have a turn here as well, and then I'll show you what will go next. So we work until our first marker. We don't need this marker anymore. Now we have this double stitch. And since it should be a purl according to our pattern, so this one last was knit and then this one is purl, we will purl this double stitch. If you take a look on it from the top, you will see that it has 2 legs, 2 loops, 1 and 2. So we will have our strand in front of the work and we will insert our needle from the back to the front, like this, so that we have both loops on our needle, like this, and we will make a purl. Now pull it a little bit and continue working until the next stitch. Here we will make another turn. The last stitch was a knit stitch. We slip it and we make a double stitch. No more markers. We just continue working until the next stitch marker, so until this yellow one. So we have a double stitch again, which is again a purl stitch. So we have our yarn in front of the work and we insert it from the back so that we have like an X here. We have 2 loops here on the needle, and we make a pearl. And we continue working until the next stitch marker. We turn, and once again we make a double stitch. Now we will work until this stitch marker. So before our stitch marker here we made a double stitch, which is again a pearl, and we already know what to do with it. We go through both legs and we purl. We remove the stitch marker, and now there is a second double stitch which is also purl, and we purl it just like we did before. Now we will work until the next stitch marker. And we make turn. And we work until this stitch marker. So once again we've reached the point where we have a double stitch, which is again purl. We remove the stitch marker, we purl again, and we work until our next stitch marker. We work until the next stitch marker to make a double stitch. This time it's a purl, so we pull the yarn backwards. Continue working like this until you reach the last stitch marker. So you reach the stitch marker, you make a double stitch, and then you go the other way. This time it is a knit stitch. It's worked the same way as a double purl stitch. We also have 2 legs here. I'll try and show you this. 1 and 2. So we insert it through both loops and we knit. I'll show you how to knit a double stitch one more time. So here we have this double stitch, and we will insert the needle from the bottom, like from here, having 2 legs so that it creates like an X shape. We'll pick up the yarn and this creates us a knit stitch. If you take a look, then you will see that our double stitches create this angle. It's more visible here. After I wash this one, it will be more visible, but I think you can see that it creates like this curving. I have one stitch left on both sides of my cap. Let's finish it together. So now, according to the pattern, we have a double knit stitch. So we go from front to back through both loops and we knit. We remove our stitch marker and we have another double knit stitch. And we work until the end of the row. We turn and we work all the way to this stitch. And we do the same thing here. We have a double knit stitch. We remove the last stitch marker, another double knit stitch, and we work until the end of the row, 2 purls and 2 knits, like this. So now we are done with the short rows, but the same as we did in the beginning, we will now make one full row according to our pattern. So we will make this ribbing without any turns, any short rows. I've made a one full row and now we will bind off. As I said in the beginning, I will bind off using a crochet hook, but you can make any other kind of bind off. It's up to you. I will slip the first stitch. We will purl the second one according to the pattern. And now, as we have 2 stitches here, we will slip one through another, like this. The next one is a knit stitch, so we knit it, and again slip one through another. So if we take a look at both edges, we have a nice chain here, and a nice chain here. So the both parts are symmetrical. Continue binding off, but do not cut the yarn when you have the last stitch, because we will make ties right away, so don't cut the yarn. Now, as we bind it off all the stitches, we will pick up 4 ties. I will use a small crochet hook, and I'm gonna make, again, it's not the ideal way to show you because it's dark, but I will make a hollow ribbing. For this one we will need 6 stitches. We already have 1, so we will pick up 5 more. 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 6th one we will pick up from the side stitch, so from our edge. Make sure that you go through both legs of a stitch, through both loops. Now that we have 6 stitches here, we'll take our needles back and carefully pick all of them to our needle. This way it will look continuous without any gaps here. Now we turn, and the first row we will work like this. We slip the first stitch, we knit the second one, the next one should be purl, but we will slip it and turn it like this so it faces us with the right leg. So imagine that these are 2 legs, right and left. It should face us like this. And we purl. The next one is a knit. Then purl again. We turn it like this. And purl. And the last stitch we will knit. Now, starting from the second row, we will knit this way. So we have our yarn in front of, we slip the first stitch, put the yarn to the back, and now we will knit. When we have a purl stitch, we will slip it purlwise. That means that we have our yarn in front of, we insert our needle as if to purl, but slip the stitch and put the yarn to the back. Then again knit, slip the purl and knit. Turn the work or simply slip the needle. Again, work in front of the working yarn is in front of the work. Slip the first stitch, knit and slip, knit and slip and knit. yarn in the front, we slip, knit, slip, knit, slip and knit. I've done a total of 50 rows and the strap now measures 23 centimeters, which is 9 inches. If you want a longer strap, feel free to do that. But now we will cut the yarn and bind off the stitches. Finish the second strand, and now I will cut the yarn and divide the stitches between two needles. So the pearls go on right and the knits will go on the left, like this. But remember that we have to place it like this, so that both of needles are facing the right side. Now we are taking the needle and we will go from right to left and then from left to right. Now from left to right again, and vice versa from right to left, and again from left to right. From right to left. And once again, left to right. As we will hide the strand inside. So we'll make a knot and carefully go all the way down inside.